Hello guys, it's the Faceless Beanie, and this is going to be my first ever weapon build video on my favorite assault rifle from Warframe, the Prisma Grakata. It's going to be a very simple build that most players will be able to use with no Rivens whatsoever. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so let's talk about some of the weaknesses of the Prisma Grakata. Its accuracy is terrible. It has a very high recoil, it's got a high fire rate and a mediocre reload speed, so sometimes you're going to be lagging behind when you're reloading, and then you're going to have to invest a lot of forma into this to make it viable. Even simple builds are going to cost 3 forma and upwards. The good part about the Prisma Grakata is its high critical chance and its equally high status chance, which makes it a fantastic hybrid weapon which you can build for either critical or status, or in this case both. It's also got a pretty low mastery rank requirement of mastery rank 11. So this is a 4 forma build, pure Madurai polarities, and I've used 6 forma because I've meddled with some Rivens in the past. But this build is strictly 4 forma, and you'd want to use each forma for a Madurai polarity. First up, it's Serration, and well, this is in every assault rifle build, so I shouldn't have to explain it here. It adds a ton of damage and really boosts the damage capabilities of any weapon, so you want to put it there without giving it a second thought. Alright, moving on to Point Strike. So Point Strike is going to boost the critical chance of the Prisma Grakata, which is already pretty good, but it's going to make it even better. You pair that up with the Vital Sense mod, which boosts the critical damage of the Prisma Grakata, and you're really going to make the critical capabilities of the Prisma Grakata shine right through. Moving on to Split Chamber, which is another mod that is very popular amongst the rifle builds. It's going to give you 90% multi-shot, and multi-shot is great because it gives you additional damage, and it's also going to boost that status chance as well as your status damage, so you're going to want it in there, and it's a no-brainer really. So next up is one of my personal choices, the Heavy Caliber mod. Heavy Caliber is going to boost your damage greatly, but you'll have to sacrifice some accuracy with that. So it may seem like a big deal, but the Prisma Grakata's accuracy is already so bad that you really can't make it any worse. You're not going to feel the hit from this accuracy decrease, but you're definitely going to feel the advantages of that boost in damage, because it's going to boost your base damage as well as that status damage which you really want. So for that reason, it's really worth it. So let's move on to the 2 dual stat mods in this build, and that's Malignant Force and High Voltage. Malignant Force is going to give you 60% toxin damage and 60% status chance. High Voltage will give you 60% electricity damage and 60% status chance. When combined, these mods give you corrosive damage, which is great against armored enemies. And last but not least, Vigilante Armaments, which gives you an additional 60% multi-shot, which will of course boost your base damage and will further boost that status damage. So a quick test of the build will show you that it makes quick work of level 95 heavy gunners which have armor on them. However, notice how I'm trying to aim for hit shots here, because you have to make sure you're aiming carefully with this weapon. Its accuracy is terrible. To make up for that, you have to apply your own skill. So of course, if you're not willing to make up for that lack of accuracy and you want to somehow fix this problem with a mod, there is a replacement. Replace Vigilante Armaments with Stabilizer, which reduces recoil by 60% and is going to make the Prisma Grakata feel like a brand new weapon. You're going to have to sacrifice a little bit in terms of status damage and status chance, but it's going to be well worth it for the accuracy here. So time to compare. This is the Prisma Grakata as shown before without the Stabilizer, and this is the Prisma Grakata with the Stabilizer. So the difference is pretty clear here. The Stabilizer is going to help you waste less bullets and let you aim more efficiently. You won't have to worry about controlling that recoil anymore. You can also alternate between Stabilizer and Vigilante Armaments depending on the kind of mission you're playing. Here in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, enemies are very close together, so I'm using the stabilizer as I'm spraying more randomly. I can't afford my bullets to go to waste. But in most other scenarios, vigilante armaments and that bonus multi-shot makes a huge difference for me. At the end of the day, it depends on the situation and your playstyle. So another mod you can put in place of vigilante armaments and stabilizer when you're going out for farming missions is hunter munitions. Hunter munitions works really well with the Prisma Grakata's critical capabilities and gives it a higher slash chance. So when you're coupling this with a Necros on your team, it's going to make a huge difference when you're farming for Endo, Argon Crystals, Orkin Cells and the like. And that concludes my video on the Prisma Grakata. As I said, no Rivens. I wanted to make this as accessible to new players as I could. So hopefully you guys have fun with the Prisma Grakata, and I do hope this helped you out. This is the Faceless Beanie signing out. Take care, guys.